Really, the way we played it is there was, a certain amount of rules that anybody coming in had to adhere to. There was already a sound that was established. So, you had to, play up to those rules up to a point. But on the other side, whoever came in on that right-hand side, you were there for a reason. You were there because we all like what you do. We all liked your personality and the personality that you gave to your instrument, and we wanted to make sure that it shined. So there was no way that we wanted to sort of stunt anybody's ability out there at all. So really, to the answer your question is yes, you had to play X amount, but only up to a point, and then from that point on, it's all yours. You use your personality guitar-wise in the best way you see possible.
From Still Dangerous, it's Thin Lizzy live on Rockline.
This is for all the cowboys. This one, it's a number called Cowboy Song. I am just a cowboy, lonesome on the trail, a starry night. Roll me over and let me go, riding in the rodeo, set me free. Cowboys life is life for me.
Yes, sir, and that one segues into the next song on the album, Cowboy Song. Thin Lizzy from the album Still Dangerous. Still time for you to speak with Scott Gorham, toll-free at 1-800-344-ROCK. You're listening to Rockline, and Rockline's brought to you by Fox. Coming up Fox Wednesday, don't miss an all-new episode of the hit series Lie to Me. This is a cool show. You'll enjoy it if you haven't seen it before. If you've seen it before, you know about it already, and you probably a regular viewer. New time an hour earlier at 8/7 Central, right before the American Idol results show. Back with Scott and your calls in just a moment. A little whiskey in the jar to the timeout.
For you know, she treat me easy, but she ring, da-ma-do-da-ma-da. Wait for my daddy, oh. Wait for my daddy, oh. There's whiskey in the jar, oh.
It's Rockline. We're back. One of the things I like about this Still Dangerous CD is the songs are close enough to the original where they sound great in your head, but they're different enough that a different slant and touch has been put on the songs. It sounds really good. We'll head to Portland, Oregon to talk to John. John, you're on Rockline with Scott Gorham.
Hey, how you doing, Scott?
Good, man. How's things?
Hey, not too bad. Hey, just want to let you know, man, you're one of my favorite guitar players of all time, and I'm stoked that there's a new live disc out with Still Dangerous.
Oh, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. I really do.
Oh, man, thank you for the music, man. It's great. Anyway, hey, I got two questions. I'm wondering if you guys have any more live shows that are going to be released on DVD, specifically your Australia live shows, maybe, and also, how did you guys hook up with Huey Lewis?
Oh, man, good question.
Yeah, good stuff.
Well, just take the first one first. You want to know if there's any more live DVDs? Was that right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, like I say, we've found this sort of huge amount of multi-track tape now, and to be quite honest, when I got to this Philadelphia show, the Still Dangerous album, I'll be honest with you, I kind of stopped listening because I was just so into the sound of this album here. I just didn't look any further. Now, somebody brought that up the other day. Is there any film in this lockup? And I couldn't say yes or no at this point because I hadn't gone that far. So that's kind of the next step is to, finding a window of opportunity where I'm not on the road or in the studio or whatever, to grab an engineer, go back into the studio and see exactly what's there. Because I'm curious, too. I want to know if there's some film footage or there's an extra track that for some reason didn't get included on this album or that album. So yeah, I'm really waiting to be able to sit in that studio and kind of discover what we've got in there. I've been kind of chattering on here. I forgot the second part of the
Huey Lewis.
Huey Lewis, yes. Well, Huey Lewis, who was a great friend of everybody in Thin Lizzy, he was in a group called Clover. And Huey's job in Clover really was just as the harmonica player. Clover supported us practically for about a year, all through Europe and all through the UK, and we got to know all the guys, really well, and they were actually an excellent band. But as far as Huey went, he was kind of he had to take kind of a back step from everyone in that band because he, like I say, he didn't sing in the group. He maybe sang a little backup, but his main job in the band was just to play our harmonica. But he used to hang around a lot with Phil, and I'd hang out with Huey and Phil, from time to time, and every once in a while you'd actually hear Huey sing to something. And the first time I remember when Phil and I heard Huey sing, we almost immediately and simultaneously said, "Why aren't you singing on your own? What's with the harmonica thing? You ought to just quit Clover and start your own band, And of course, Huey's like, oh, well, yeah, geez, I never thought about that, And we just kept pumping him, saying, man, you've got to do this. You've got to get out there and start your own band. And lo and behold, it was like just a couple years later, and there he is, Huey Lewis in the news, and he's the... what do you have, the number one album in the nation or something, or number one album in the world?
For quite a while, yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. So, that's how we hooked up with Huey. I remember he came out to the Bahamas with us one year. Phil was doing his solo album, and we went out to Compass Point there, and we brought Huey out with us to, play harmonica. But, do sing, and also you did a lot of singing on the album. So, we did a lot of hanging out with Huey. Huey, I don't know, if you ever get a chance to meet Huey Lewis kind of on a one-to-one basis, you'll really find out what a sense of humor this guy's got. I mean, he's just, every time I meet up with this guy, he's a great laugh is what he is. I love that guy. I miss him, too. I haven't seen Huey in a fair few years now, so I'd like to hook up with him again at some point. But thanks for bringing that up.
There you go. And you do know the band Clover worked with Elvis Costello in his early years.
I think I do remember that.
Yeah, they were, I believe, the backup band on the first two albums.
Right. But these guys, they were great musicians. One of the guys, went off to the Doobie Brothers. I think a couple of the other guys became, pretty well-known producers in California and all that. So, yeah, I mean, it's not like this was not a talented band. I mean, this was a band filled with really great musicians. But there you have Huey, and he's just playing harmonica instead of doing the singing that he ended up actually doing.
Well, he stepped out in front eventually. I want to play Dancing in the Moonlight. What are your recollections of this song?